For a time, we tried to contact him by radio, but no response.
Yes, y'all. Welcome into episode 27 of the Dumb Marks podcast here for your favorite Saturday brunch. Gentlemen, how we doing? How's it going? Before we get started here, big shout outs to all you guys for tuning in each and every week. We thank you guys. Hopefully you come in and get entertained for an hour or two while you're doing errands, cleaning the house, whatever it may be. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody overseas and around the globe that downloads. Continued shout out to the India people in the India Army. We love you guys over there. Keep it up. You know, maybe whenever this pandemic's over and we blow up huge, we'll take a trip over there and do a live show over there. But no, guys, how's it going? What's new? Everybody good this week?
I'm good.
There's some I don't know about everybody on their end, but my end, there's some technical issues today. It just keeps like dropping in and out. So
well,
if there's any delays, apologies on that.
Hopefully my green screen mark doesn't drop off like it did last time.
Again, that's just the recurring dumb mark theme.
It's like you forgot you set the sleep timer on the television and it just turned off on you. Yeah, that's what happened last night on the podcast. So everybody's good. Everybody's great. We ready to go? Ready to hop into this?
Ready to go? Yeah.
Rocking and rolling. All right. Who wants to kick it off this week? Intro wise, what we see? Gaming, movies, TVs, snacks, food, anything, life in general.
Two news on the gaming front. The PlayStation Store, it is closing its TV and movie section, and it's just going to focus all on video games. So Sony's doing that because they saw the rise in streaming services and they couldn't compete with the TVs and movies market anymore. And then Nintendo, actually, we talked about a little last week. They actually officially came out and said Nintendo Switch Pro is a thing, and specs came out on it. So it's going to have a 7-inch screen, and it's going to be a Samsung OLED screen. It's going to be 4K whenever you dock it, but it's going to be 720p whenever you play it handheld. And the reason they did that is so it could save the battery on it.
I want that 1080.
And then they
handheld.
And then they expect it to be released before Christmas. And for them to jump on top of the scalper situation, they're going to produce 1 million of these Pro Switches a month leading up to the release date.
That's still not going to stop the bots.
No, it's not going to. And then Nintendo told all of their developers to have every single game that they're making from this point on 4K ready for the system.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But no price yet and no official release date, just before Christmas.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I wonder if we're getting that HD Ocarina of Time that they were teasing.
Maybe.
If so, I'll buy a Switch.
But that's all on the gaming front for me.
My son got a Switch. I enjoy playing the Switch. I go in and play the old classics.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't mind the Switch.
The only thing I wish they would have kept on the same thing on the Switch that they changed was the Wii used to have a different type of store, and you could buy like previous versions of games, like what other games were on Wii, some from GameCube. They even let you do some N64 compatibility, and they got rid of that. Now they have everything's like in the online mode. And it's a little different now, but at least there's still some old stuff that you can still watch or still play.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. All right. What else we got? I got a bunch of stuff listed off for TV and movies wise that we can just run through real quick hitters.
If you haven't seen Raya and the Last Dragon, I recommend doing so. It's a damn good movie.
A lot of people have said that, and some people have even said it's the best best Disney movie ever. So
Not ever, but
yeah, it's getting that type of praise. So
best since Moana.
Moana was great. I love Moana.
I like Moana.
My daughter loved that movie. Yeah, like she's still in the age where she'll still like she wants to watch Raya the Last Dragon. She's 11, so like some of those she'll pass on some, but you know, we watch Soul. She wants to watch this one, so like she's still in that mode where she'll tune in if something catches her eye. But a lot of people, not just parents of kids, but just people in general, are giving this movie a lot of good praise. So I think it'll be well worth the time for you guys. It is the extra $30 if you got Disney Plus, or you can wait until they just put it on the app for free, probably in a couple months, like they did with Mulan whenever that came out.
Sweet. Also on the movie front, if you guys already didn't know, Amber Heard got fired from Aquaman 2.
That was the big movement was to get her out the door. I don't know all the backstory behind everything with her and what went down. Not something that I followed up on. I didn't particularly care for Aquaman. Again, DC movie, so it's rare that I actually care based on how they've put their movies out. But
they said that it was because contractual conditions said that she didn't keep in shape for the movie. But with the petition going on to get her canned from the whole Johnny Depp situation and everything, that was the easy out for them.
Is that what that is?
Is that what it involved? It was the reason, like that was the main reason.
They're not staying fit, but the petition with the whole Johnny Depp thing that probably pushed it a little bit further to make the move, and they're probably going to give her time to possibly get back in shape. So, and if not, they have Emilia Clarke, Daenerys Targaryen, waiting in the wings for the spot.
I'd rather have her.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
All right. Otherwise, for me, my list this week, I got a lot, but I won't jump into everything. Simpsons got renewed for 2 more seasons. The show is basically as old as we are for the most part. Got renewed for seasons 33 and 34, which is just outrageous to think. Like, never in a million years, I guess, you know. Well, I mean, when your creator's a time traveler and he predicts stuff all the time, I guess you can stay around because people want to see what else you're going to predict in the future.
It's going to take them to 757 episodes.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
It's insane. Disney-wise, Marvel, Disney Plus released the Falcon and Winter Soldier Legends episodes early. People were waiting to see if they were going to put that up early or if we were going to get a little bit of a lull between the end of WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier starting up. So they released those. We go on and watch them before you hop into Falcon and Winter Soldier just to get the backstory. They're quick, like 5-7 minute pieces. So definitely hop on and check those out. HBO Max is doing a Green Lantern series. Don't know if anybody cares. Green Lantern, the movie, sucked.
I'm not the DC guy here, so DC fellas, what you think?
Is Chris frozen again?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
He's pulling his own Bernie Sanders. Look at him. Somebody please clip that. If you're watching live, please.
It's gonna be one of these days.
It really is.
All right, we're back.
But if they do make a Green Lantern series, I mean, I watched the first couple episodes just to give it a try.
Was it animated?
Was it animated?
Is it supposed to be animated?
No, I believe this is supposed to be a live action. I believe. I don't know. Let me double check.
Oh, yeah. Can't be any worse than the movie.
I'll tune in to live action.
If it's as dark as Titans, I'll definitely give it a go.
HBO does good with their live action adaptations.
Yeah, it doesn't say whether or not it is. So yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't be. Some other stuff that came out for all you gamers. Piggyback off Donald, Dungeons and Dragons. Hugh Grant got cast as the lead villain for that movie that's going to be coming out. I think that's a good role for him. I don't, he can pull that one off.
I don't know about Dungeons and Dragons.
I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons except a level 40 troll.
I thought that was Jason on Facebook.
Mongo.
Yeah, Mongo. Transformers Beast Wars trilogy is reportedly set in space and has no humans. So it looks like we're going to get a true Transformers Autobots versus Decepticons trilogies.
The movie?
Yeah, it's going to be a trilogy. So
it's going to be like a legit movie and no animation.
No humans.
No humans.
It's all gonna be Autobots and Decepticons.
CG.
Just stick with the 1984 cartoon movie.
Just make them like those Resident Evil style movies on Netflix.
So so according to Paramount's Beast Wars project will be spread across a trilogy and take place in space. Not real much there. That's pretty much all the description that they gave right now.
Once you go to space, it's over for your franchise.
So we'll see with that. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm a little upset because I enjoy Transformers. Did they get a little too far out of the point?
Which movie kicked you off?
Which movie kicked me off?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've watched all of them, so
okay.
I can't front. I watched all of them. Bumblebee was really good.
It was.
Bumblebee was a really good movie. So
my mother had me watching was it the old night or whatever? The first night?
The last night.
Last night. So she was sitting there watching it, and she was walking away thinking I was going to recap her when she came back. I'm like, I'm not watching this shit. I'm in my phone. No. Sorry.
Couple other Marvel.
That's even whenever it's something you enjoy too.
Yeah. Couple other Marvel announcements I saw. Nina DaCosta, director of Little Woods and Candyman, will be the director for Captain Marvel 2. So shout out to her. That's a really good get for them for that. I enjoyed the first Captain Marvel. A lot of people shit on it.
No.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I found that out of like all the Marvel movies that were in that series, that to me was the one that was most love or hate that I got as far as reaction goes from people.
Yeah.
And then for the Disney Plus series Ironheart, Dominique Thorne got cast as Riri Williams. I don't know much about the Ironheart storyline in that, but it was it's a big get for them as far as the announcement that was made. She appeared in If Bill Street Could Talk, and then Judas and the Black Messiah. So that's a pretty big get for them as far as one of the main characters for that series that'll come out. And then what else did I have movie wise, TV wise? Oh, our boy Dave Bautista was calling for it and got the lead in the movie Army of the Dead, the Zack Snyder zombie apocalypto movie that will be airing on Netflix. The trailer came out this past week. It looked pretty badass. Like, I think I'm going to tune in for it. Those zombie movies are kind of hit or miss for me. But this one, based off the trailer, looked pretty good. So I think I'm going to tune in on Netflix for that whenever that drops.
Definitely. Netflix drops some quiet gems.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta catch them.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So that's all I had from the TV and movie front. Spoiler alert: we will be going into WandaVision next week. We'll give you guys a week, okay? We were going to come in here today and do it, but we figured 24 hours later, that's kind of rude.
Everybody dies.
So if you haven't watched WandaVision, by all means, definitely do it. We will be coming in next week and discussing it and breaking it down and seeing where we think it will lead to as far as the next phase in Marvel goes. But yeah, that's all I had from that. Fat Kid wise, there's a new pizzeria that's going to open up in Pittsburgh. It's called Dough Bar Pizzeria and Rotisserie. It'll be opening up down on the south side of Pittsburgh. Much acclaimed restaurant. So that will be interesting to see when that does open up, how that comes out.
Soon as shit dies down, I'm sure we'll be there.
Give it a try at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount Plus launched this week. It was pretty bad as I was expecting it to be, just like CBS All Access was. I did sign up for the $25 a year plan just to have it. I think it'll be worth it for the movies that are released on there, but that's going to be about it. Maybe some of the new stuff, the originals once they release that. But other than that, no, it's pretty bad right now.
Yeah,
for launch. Mad Dog 2020, they unveiled a new drink this week. It's available in stores already.
We're not in the drink of the week segment.
It's something we can use for drink of the week later. Kind of fits into snacks and stuff.
No, I don't want to talk about Mad Dog flavors. That's like that's our generation's Four Locos. Like we don't.
This is going to be kind of like that. It's going to be you buy it in a 6-pack. It's called a Spike Punch. That's exactly what when you talk about Mad Dog.
We will be reviewing that.
I guess All right, you're back. What were you saying with your Mad Dog announcement?
I said it was a tangy orange flavor and about 12% alcohol. Comes in a 6-pack, so something we can try out.
Mad Dog at 12% alcohol.
Jeez,
yeah, man.
Woo, the hoods are gonna be hopping.
Get my garbage bag ready because I know that's all gonna come up.
Hey, you know they'll be selling. You know they'll be slinging the 22-ounce bottles of those out the Triangle, right?
Oh, for sure.
That'll be right next to the Colt 45 and the Schlitz Blue Bull.
What did we see at Giant Eagle? Was the Four Loco one shot?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This week I tried. Dunkin' Donuts has a new coffee. Steve, I texted you this the other day. It's a cold brew with sweet cold foam. I had the chocolate stout coffee cold brew. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. Something that I'll definitely get again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a venture over to Dunkin' over by me, over my way, over there in McKeesport, and take a trip to go get a cold brew at some point in time here. So I don't have anything for snacks on my end. I didn't see anything. Nothing really caught my eye or came out. Jay, I don't know if you came across anything. You're a resident snack
They're coming
guy.
out with a mix of Apple Jacks and Frosted Flakes, a mashup.
Oh, who's this?
No.
Apple Jacks and Frosted Flakes
Together in the box?
together. Yeah,
I'll pass.
Yeah, definitely. That's a hard pass.
I like Apple Jacks. I like Frosted Flakes, but those two would not be the two that I would put in the combo.
But it's not far off though. I mean, two different, flakes and rings, but it's both sugar. You just add an apple. That's it.
It's all sugar.
All sugar.
It's all diabetes.
It's like we don't like sugar.
Yeah.
And does anybody want to speak on the peanut butter Reese's?
That's you.
It's just all peanut butter.
All peanut butter.
Chocolate.
I had the one with the peanut butter top. That was good. There was still chocolate in it. I don't know if I can bang with the all peanut butter.
I think it's called like peanut butter lovers.
Yeah, I'll just stick my finger in a bowl of Jif.
Well, be careful about where you're putting fingers and talking on the show. We don't need to be canceled this early. So. All right. Well, with that, let's get into the pick one or pick two we got for this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hope this works.
This is not to be confused with our world-renowned, world-famous One Gotta Go, which we will do at the end of the show. This is just us being fat kids and picking two.
This really is us being fat kids.
Yeah. For me, this is pretty easy for me. So I'm gonna go with two. I'm gonna go with 2 and 5. Banana pudding and cheesecake. It was a tough call between banana pudding and red velvet cake, but I got banana pudding and cheesecake. So
there's only 4 things on here that I actually like, so I kind of can narrow it down pretty quickly. It's tough to narrow them down, but I think I'm going to go with 5 and 7.
7? Ugh.
Pecan pie?
7?
I love pecan pie.
You even say it wrong.
Pecan. Let's get it right. I don't even know why cranberry sauce is on this list.
Yeah, that's not really a dessert.
Yeah,
year round. So,
and they got it in the bowl kind. If you're going to put cranberry sauce on their list, you got to show the Jello, the in the can, the lines from the can.
Oh yeah.
Put it into a fancy white bowl and call it cranberry sauce. That's not cranberry sauce.
My grandmother used to actually make the cranberry sauce like that and have the ocean spray stuff on the table at the same time.
So let me get. I'm gonna get heat for this. I already know, but I pick none because I don't eat desserts. So,
goddamn.
Yeah. So there's one I can pick. There's one I can't pick. Sorry.
Like you haven't had any of them.
No, I haven't.
You did?
Ever?
I haven't.
There's nothing on here you've ever had.
Nah. Mm-mm.
You lie.
I don't eat desserts. No.
He doesn't eat desserts, but
you had to have dessert at some point in your life.
He's had dessert. He doesn't eat it, but he's had it.
So I can go back to like 95 or something. So I'm gonna get my taste back from that.
I don't like cake, but I know I've had it enough times. It says why I don't like it.
So yeah, so none for me.
This dude doesn't like comedies and never has eaten a dessert.
It's a sad, sour life. The pineapple upside down cake at my grandmother's, so that gotta go. I'm gonna go cheesecake and apple pie.
I'm not mad at the apple pie.
There's whipped cream.
See, now you're now you got to add specifications, toppings, and condiments. No, it's just straight up as you see it on the screen. We're not adding Cool Whip. We're not adding ice cream and caramel sauce. No, that's making apple pie into like an apple a la mode. It's a completely different thing.
I'm gonna still go apple pie, but number 3 will be banana pudding.
All right, I can't believe. All right, Donald,
So we had 3 out of 4 of us pick cheesecake. So I mean, we could have almost started a new Golden Girls with eating cheesecake every week.
I don't eat desserts. I've never had a dessert.
I don't. Mm-mm.
Why are we even friends with you? All right, Jay. Yeah. So, Jay's
I signed up for this years ago, only for like 3 shipments, and I'm still getting them. I've talked to 3 people. Chris?
Can't figure out how to turn off auto renewal. Like,
I tried. Chris tried. I've talked to 2 people who tried, and it took them multiple times to get it turned off.
Like I said, it took me 3 tries just to finally get it canceled.
So, like, they used to come with stuff like this: title plate pins, side plate pins, and they've just got like real janky over the past year. So
let's see what we got.
I mean, it was a pandemic and revenue was down.
I mean, I already like it. What is it? A Latino Heat shirt? Is that Latino Heat? So that's decent. That's already a win.
Yeah.
We have a Kofi sack. It's a Kofi beach bag. Not going to use this.
That's not even the Jamaican colors, Kofi. Like,
I was just about to say, is that still from whenever he was Jamaican Kofi?
Mandy Rose air freshener. Smells like Mandy Rose.
Like?
No, let me not say that.
You don't need to get in detail on that one, Jason.
Is this? I have Otis hand coolers.
Yeah, that's to go with your Mandy Rose air freshener.
Otis hand heavy machine
hand cooler.
and the Money in the Bank pen.
Well, now you can cash in your briefcase anytime you want.
Yeah, but I can't get out of subscription. You know,
That's terrible. All right.
I might put
Anything
the
else
on.
Well, since we ended off with the loot crate from Jason, let's just jump into bell to bell and get into it.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into Bell to Bell this week. If you didn't catch us last night, we did our AEW Revolution prediction show, and we also kind of reviewed what AEW Dynamite was this week. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go back on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and watch on demand whenever you get a chance.
This will be Jason's favorite bell to bell segment.
All right, just for that, Jason. So if you didn't see on Twitter today, Kurt Angle kind of released a video to tease off. Maybe he is, the mystery signing for tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see at Revolution who the signing is, but
troll. He's trolling. When he's just on his podcast talking about how he was shocked that Big Show left.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the next guy.
throwing you off the scent. I mean, you never know.
I don't know if Angle is the name that gets dropped on Sunday as the signee. Like, I don't think that'll get the wrestling world in a buzz and in a tizzy and talking, like how Tony Khan said that it'll lead to water cooler talk Monday morning. It is one of Tony Khan's favorite wrestlers of all time. He did come out and say that. We do know that it will be a male wrestler because my mind went to the female side of things, and I figured what a way to get a shot in the arm for your women's division and to bring in a big name Hall of Fame worthy talent woman to kind of step in and do some stuff in the women's division. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out tomorrow on the pay-per-view. Predictions, like Chris said last night. So go on YouTube, check that out. Let us know what you think. If you agree or disagree with how we broke down the card. So we'll kind of stay off the AEW talk for now. And then that leaves us with everything else in pro wrestling this week. So I guess let's just jump into the other quote unquote main player in the wrestling business, WWE wise. Some big announcements, some big rumors that turned out to be true this week came down the pipe here before we get into show specific stuff. But it looks like NXT will be moving from Wednesday nights to Tuesday nights. No definitive as to when. I think sometime middle of April is what I saw last. So maybe after
Mania week they're talking about.
Yeah, after Mania week. So that would be April 13th, maybe 14th, whatever Tuesday that is. So yeah, there's that, and then the lineup came out for WrestleMania week as far as WWE programming goes, and you got NXT Wednesday night, TakeOver Thursday night, back-to-back nights WrestleMania. And are they doing Hall of Fame Friday night, or are they not doing anything Friday night?
Probably
there
SmackDown.
hasn't been any announcement. Yeah, probably just SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no word on the Hall of Fame yet. Like, they haven't done any announcements. Nothing on there. So maybe that'll kick us off on Tuesday night. Who knows? So
Yeah,
Monday,
they should, because they didn't even do last year's stuff. So
no.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Raw Monday, NXT Wednesday, Thursday, SmackDown Friday, Mania Saturday, Sunday.
Raw Monday.
Then Raw Monday.
Raw Monday.
Then maybe Tuesday NXT. So over a week of all.
That is for a company that is struggling as far as ratings and viewership and creatively and everything else, to put 10 days of programming on pretty much straight. That's going to be a hard task to get people to stay invested and watch. Like, you may be burned out come Saturday and not even watch Mania.
Yeah.
If you watch everything. So like,
I don't forget everything else on top of that too. All the other companies that to watch during the week.
I'm given how WWE doesn't do good go home shows for pay-per-views, even though it is Mania, I may sit out Raw and SmackDown completely that week and just go into Mania. So that way I'm not going in, mad or just, uninterested based off of what they did during the week.
Yeah, because actually, when we went up to Mania up in New York, like we did the travel packages, so you had your itinerary and everything. By the time Mania came around, it was like we was burned out because of all the stuff that we did. It was just like, man, got to go here, got to make this time here. So it's going to be like the same thing, but you're just in your house watching it.
On that Monday for Raw and Tuesday for SmackDown that week, no joke, I was literally like falling asleep in my seat at the arena. I was so beat by that point.
Yeah. If we had a chance to go home like right after Mania, I think we would have took it.
Definitely after Raw, I think, for sure. 100% for sure after Raw. But yeah, could have been right after Mania too. Because we did Access twice. And that was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we got to have. That's what we have to look forward to in a couple of weeks from WWE coming down the home stretch to Mania. Where you want to start with Raw Monday night, or you want to work towards? Excuse me, work backwards.
Might as well start at the beginning.
So Raw was just a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I turned it on. I missed the first, I want to say maybe 10, 12 minutes of the show. I turned it on. Sheamus and Drew are wrestling. And I'm fine. Sheamus and Drew have a really good match. And I tweeted this out, the freaking commentary just completely took me out of the match and just made me want to turn off the TV. All it was, this is the biggest night in Raw, in the history of Raw, and the most important night in the history of this show. And this match here is the most important match on Raw. And I'm like, they're not even wrestling for a belt. It's just two guys having a match. What are you talking about? Like, this is so important for both of these guys' careers. And I'm like, it's literally just a regular match on Raw. Like, but it completely took me out of the show. It was overdone. It was, they kept referencing the countdown clock to 9 o'clock with Miz and Bobby Lashley putting ultimatum. So I tweeted out, I'm like, well, what happens at 9 o'clock if Miz doesn't answer? What then? What's Bobby Lashley do then? Like, and as we found out,
that took me out of it too. Because they did that countdown clock last week, and then they had to do it again this week. It's like this week I didn't even give a shit about the countdown clock. It wasn't needed.
So then 9 o'clock comes. You have a quick women's match that didn't mean anything, just to fill up the rest of the first hour, which a lot of people were upset about that on the Raw Twitter account there. But then 9 o'clock comes and you get the swerve with Miz with stomach cramps and stress because of this match, and he's not medically cleared to go. So what do? Let's add another hour countdown clock to make him defend it at 10 o'clock. So I was already ready to check out at that point. And then what happens? Strowman, Shane, and Pierce. That's not a law firm. That's Braun Strowman and Pierce. So we're going to get Braun versus Shane at Mania. You can book that. That'll be Shane's match.
Yep.
I said that a couple weeks ago. That was the whole reason why he came back, was just to have a Mania match.
Shane will probably jump off of the pirate ship.
I hope.
I know Kevin Owens wants to do that. He's been wanting to do that for over a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, Braun coming out, cutting a terrible, lackluster pipe bomb promo. And then Shane comes out talking about he's in school for his MBA, for his master's. Like, you're 50 years old. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? We know you haven't been taking classes. You've ran companies in China for years. Like, what are you talking about? So after that, I just shut it off. And I shut it off. I checked back in at Twitter around 10, and I got the update. Oh, pulled something else off, whatever. It's gonna be the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like it drug on too much.
Yes.
You've done it once, it'd have been okay.
If that's the way
segments.
If that's
I
the
like
way
the end result, but I just didn't care for the build up for it.
The build up to it, yeah.
Creatively, that's not going to get me to stick around to the end of the show to get me to tune in for the title match.
Mm-hmm.
So then it ends in a lumberjack match. Lashley goes over clean, submits Miz out. Lashley's your new champion.
It was kind of like he instantly turned babyface, but had to go back into heel mode.
Yeah. Like,
that was a tough position.
Would I wanted to see Lashley win it at Mania and get a moment? Yeah. Does that fit Lashley's character now? No. So, like, I can see why you do the title switch. But at the same time, if they have Lashley win it on Raw this week and then have him drop the belt at Mania, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they had Lashley just win at Fastlane? Why couldn't you waited 2 weeks for that?
Because they needed to use Fastlane to set up the number one contender match to see who will face Lashley.
No.
That's going to be Raw's main event of Fastlane. Which
there we go. Like we always talk about, like
so McIntyre and Sheamus.
It was like, why do we have this pay-per-view 3 weeks before Mania?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lashley was on Corey Graves' podcast this week, and Lashley said he called out Brock specifically, and he also said he would want to do a triple threat with Brock and Drew at Mania.
I wouldn't mind that, just because I'm tired of seeing Brock one-on-one. It's like a 5 minute match where he's outside sweating for 5 minutes.
And then I know we're not crazy about like big men fighting each other or like that, but these are like 3 athletic big men, so
true.
It'd be different. Yeah,
but one of them just only does the same move over and over again. That's the downside of that.
I mean, it would be different. We've seen Brock in triple threats before. You know, the one he had with Cena and Rollins?
Rollins, yeah,
that was a really good triple threat match. I just don't. If it's Brock or Drew versus Lashley, I just don't care about that. I don't care about that match. I don't want to see Brock come back and win the belt again, so then it can disappear and be, in obscurity. And Drew had the title majority of this past year. I don't see you putting it back on him again unless it's like, oh, we're going to get you your WrestleMania moment in front of fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he already had it by beating Brock last year, so it's not going to have the same effect.
Yeah.
And then you're right back into where you were again, where you have no challengers for Drew.
Mm-hmm.
So Raw is just I have no idea what Raw is doing right now.
It seemed like they're putting all their chips into who is it, Orton and Fiend. That's what it looked like to me.
And that's going to be atrocious.
I'm over that story.
It's gone on too long.
You know what I was afraid of when he got drafted to Raw? And I'm talking about the Fiend and / Bray Wyatt. I was afraid that Raw would take that character and just nosedive it because they wouldn't know how to book it properly and be creative enough with it. And that is exactly what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the addition of Alexa Bliss before them moving over to Raw, and I'm like, okay, great. Now we're getting another layer onto this. The Fiend was great on SmackDown. That whole, the way he was, the way the Funhouse was, like all that was fantastic. And then Raw got a hold of it, and it just, I mean, come on, we're running, 89 Warrior versus Papa Shango. That's what we're running now as creative. Literally what we're running.
Yeah.
And if Randy Orton can come back from fire in 3 days being burned and he can puke up black stuff and still show up to work every week, somebody needs to get his antibodies because that can cure coronavirus.
And talk to himself too.
Yeah.
Like last week.
It's just terrible. It's so garbage. Charlotte calling out Asuka. Asuka's not even in the show. She's off because Shayna Baszler kicked her 2 front teeth out last week. She's legitimately out with an injury. Charlotte, the friend that she is, goes out there and you want to know my true colors? I want to challenge Asuka at Mania. I don't want to see Charlotte and Asuka at Mania again.
No.
Like I had said, it was probably going to be Lacey versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, and I think that they were just like, okay, had to call them audible, and they're keeping the same plan just with a different person.
So then that means if you have Asuka, that means you have Asuka lose to Charlotte again at Mania.
Yep.
I don't want to see that. I hope they at least let Asuka win, and maybe the next month down Charlotte win, but it's Charlotte's probably going to win. They have nothing else on Raw, so I wouldn't mind seeing this storyline go a little bit longer after Mania. But then Money in the Bank's going to be coming around. That'll probably, hopefully, reignite something else on the women's front, too.
You just have nothing for Raw.
No. Yeah, as Steve says every week, it's the shits.
You have nothing for Raw, but yet you have Rhea Ripley sitting there.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
We're what? We're almost a month out from the Royal Rumble? Or we are a month out from
Over, yeah.
And she's yet to debut. We just got vignettes.
I mean, at this point, you might as well hold off until after Mania. There's no sense of bringing her in for Mania.
If you wanted to inject some fresh blood and get a shot of adrenaline into your show, when Lacey went out and had Asuka, not even challenge anybody on the pay-per-view, why not slide Rhea Ripley in there? And then you could run with them too.
Yeah. But they still have what?
Was this not the
beat from last year?
If you wanted to instantly make somebody a star, okay? Instantly make somebody a star, right? You have Rhea Ripley come out, challenge Asuka, beat her at the Rumble, and then she fights Charlotte at Mania, run that back from last year, only she goes over this year. So she comes back, she wins the belt in her first night beating Asuka, then she beats your top women's star in Charlotte in back-to-back matches, and she's off and running, and there's no slowing her down. Like, why not do something like that?
Other than Asuka losing the teeth, I heard that there is possibly a concussion issue. So we're a month away from Mania. So if she does legitimately have a concussion, there might be a chance she doesn't even come back. So maybe they will have to do something fresh, to change it up at the last minute. But kind of have to wait and see.
But like from the get-go, like why not go with that?
I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Jay. You're the WWE advocate here. You play the Paul Heyman role on this show, and you defend everything WWE does. Why
I wouldn't put her in a tag.
Huh?
I wouldn't put her in a tag.
Wouldn't put who in a tag?
Rhea.
I'm not saying put Rhea in a tag.
That's what you were saying. Make her debut.
No, I said make her debut at the Rumble against Asuka when Lacey couldn't go because she was pregnant.
Oh, I thought you meant during that tag match.
No.
Okay.
When Lacey couldn't go at the Rumble, my suggestion was that night you have Rhea debut that night, beat Asuka at the Rumble.
Nah.
And then you take her to Mania and have her beat Charlotte, and she's instantly made.
I'm not putting the belt on her right away.
But why do you got to slow burn it? Do something different.
I'm not putting the belt on her right away. Nah. Let her work her way up to the belt. Beat some people in the roster.
But they haven't. But they don't have anybody.
Yeah, they don't have anybody. That's what I'm saying.
You can still go through the roster. I'm not just gonna slap the belt on you because you knew. This ain't Impact. This ain't AEW.
They did it with Paige. Yeah,
that was years ago.
It doesn't matter. They still did
years ago, and one was out the door.
It doesn't matter, but they still did it. If you want something new, something different, something to get people talking, something to get people to tune into your show, why not go down a road like that?
I'm not doing it.
It makes a moment great at that time, but for longevity, I don't think it would do anything for Rhea.
You don't think it does anything for Rhea if you have her beat Asuka for the belt and then beat Charlotte at Mania in her first two?
Because things are so bad with the company right now, no, I don't think it would. I think they would drop the ball very quickly, and they would have her do nothing.
Then where did she drop it at?
Have her drop it to Becky when Becky comes back.
So you just
have her run through the roster. Have her run through the roster
for two pay-per-views,
or build somebody else
up. Title run,
or build somebody up.
Have her run through the roster until SummerSlam, and then by that time, if Becky's back, you have Becky beat Rhea at SummerSlam.
So you having her running through everybody till SummerSlam.
Yeah,
fresh out
or try to build somebody else up. I mean,
if Asuka and Charlotte goes on Mania as planned right now, I'd say hold off Rhea until after the night after Mania, bring her in, and then have her win the Money in the Bank, and then that can shoot her until whenever they need to put the title on her.
But the Money in the Bank doesn't do anything for anybody no more. It doesn't. It's not how it used to be. It doesn't carry the weight that it used to.
What, this last one?
It then is
the last couple haven't done anything for anybody. When's the last good cash in was Rollins at Mania, and that was because it was on Brock at Mania. But other than that, when has the Money in the Bank really done anything for anybody?
Bliss and Bayley,
but they cashed in that night.
Asuka last year,
it
won the title,
and that was basically for the title.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think I think at this point you got to do something different. If you do Rhea where you bring her up and have her ascend through the ranks, I have no faith for them to properly tell those stories to get her elevated up. So why not just hotshot her from the get-go? Christ, Mick Foley's been screaming at it for weeks, ever since before the Rumble. He's been tweeting out, "Hey, I hope they don't screw up Rhea Ripley. I hope they put the rocket on Rhea Ripley.
Not.
I hope they hotshot Rhea Ripley."
They're not.
So why not do it?
She's too much of a talent to screw up. They're not going to screw it up.
Come on now, they screwed up Finn Balor, and you mean to tell me like Finn's not too much of a talent?
It's Finn Balor. Come on now. Come on now. He's good. He's not great.
You would get dissenting opinions on that.
Until you change the finisher from the coup de grace.
He does 1916.
Yeah, that's not his finisher anymore.
Oh, but now
he still uses it, but
yeah, it's more like a signature now.
But I just don't get why not do something different.
Yeah, they need it. Like they definitely need a shot in the arm. They do.
The whole show needs a shot in the arm.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I'm saying like all of Raw just needs a revamp. It needs a hard reset. It really does.
All right. Well, that's all I have for Raw. You want to jump over to SmackDown last night? Did you guys watch it? You caught up?
For the most part. I fast-forwarded through a bit.
Well, last night we asked, AEW stuff, and Jay didn't watch anything. So
well, y'all don't watch Raw, so how about Raw?
I tuned into Raw, and Raw made me tune out.
Over here, catch snippets. One in the top, Chris.
Yeah. I watch what's good. I don't watch the shit.
You gotta watch. Me, so
SmackDown last night. I thought it was an okay episode. Like,
I had trouble with my feed, so it was like I wasn't fully invested. Like
obviously the cage match main event was really good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was expecting that to be really good. That was the build up to that. You know, if you guys don't watch Talking Smack, I highly suggest you watch Talking Smack, because Talking Smack every week is just gem after gem. And the back and forth between Heyman and Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack last week that led to the the cage match this week was really good. So I knew going into the show that was like almost 100%er. I didn't have to worry about that. Like, that was going to be check mark. Great. The rest of the show was just so.
I was riding the wave until Apollo came on, and it was just like,
oh man, that was tuned out for sure. Yeah, once I saw the spear in the ring, I was gone. I was done until the main event.
Yeah, the
like, I didn't even tune out for Dominic, but then it was just like,
well, I turned that off. I can't do Dominic and Ray feuding with Gable and Otis. Like, I can't get into it. You know, obviously that will lead to some type of tag match at either the pay-per-view or at Mania, but
it's time for Ray to go.
It's time for Dominic to go too.
Yo, does that like? I mean, that's really an indication on how good Seth Rollins is, right? Because when Dominic debuted and was in the ring with Seth, everybody was like, he's good. You know, the kid can go, he can work. Look how good he is for being green.
Who said that?
You weren't seeing that?
Nobody on this.
I mean, I didn't hate his in-ring talent, but I didn't need to see him after that. Like, it should have been a storyline, then he went away. Like,
he needs different ring gear. That ring gear he be wearing the last couple of weeks just doesn't. It's like he's wearing like his older brother's pants that don't fit, so he's constantly fixing them in a ring.
He needs to stop carrying his father out every week.
Yeah,
that's Ray gotta go.
Yeah,
Ray gotta go.
I think that's a lot of his downfall, is that he's too much relied on his father.
Yeah.
I get that that's his dad. Like, I get that's the whole thing, but it's too much. He's Rey Mysterio's son and not Dominic Mysterio in a way.
It's not getting they're not getting the rub that they thought they would with it.
I mean, the whole time since he's been here, he hasn't been involved in anything good, I don't think. Like, I didn't care for the original Seth Rollins storyline at all. I don't care that I hate Corbin, so I hate that they're involved in that. Most of the time I just fast forward through their shit that they're doing with that.
I wouldn't mind if him and Buddy did something. Continue the story.
Yeah.
But Buddy's
Buddy,
in family now, and wherever he's going now. So
you saw Buddy reemerge and you know, say something to Seth this week.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see them two fall back together.
No.
Why not just give me Dominic turn on Ray and you run that storyline, so then that way he can be done with it. Obviously, that's where it's going to go, right?
At some point, it will happen.
At some point, he has to turn on Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So you have him turn on Ray.
Too bad he's still not around. He can say that he's Eddie's son for real.
And whenever Dominic do take Ray out, that's when Ray's gone completely.
yeah. Go to AEW.
No.
Be the TBD.
And then he goes to AEW.
Yeah.
But Apollo, you know, we brought that up last week. Like I said, looking at it through an above the, you know, bird's eye lens, maybe running with a Nigerian Prince gimmick is not the best gimmick to go with right now.
Yeah.
So I won't get into it. Like I said last week, if you want to go look that stuff up on your own, go ahead. But just not the best of moves right now. So,
like we said last week, double down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Double down hard on it.
Real hard, yeah.
I hate everything they're doing with Sasha, Bianca.
Yes.
Why are they doing a rematch at Fastlane?
So they can officially turn on each other.
They should have done that already. They don't need another match to do this. That's just, again, it makes no point to have this pay-per-view again. And this is the stupid reason why they have it.
Well, that can change too.
As soon as Bianca announced, I'm fighting Sasha for the belt, that's when everything should have started. When Bianca should have just punched Sasha in the face, or Sasha punched her in the face, whichever one's going to be the heel. Mm-hmm. That's when everything should have started, and everything else lead to them backed up. Reginald, Nia, Shayna, like all that stuff should have been on the back burner and just focused on those two. But it's WWE.
Well, at least you're not getting a match every week and then the same match again at Mania. So you got to do something with them. You want to have them just come out and talk every week?
But you're leading up to your biggest show of the year.
Book it for me.
I'll get back to you. Got to think about that.
To Donald's point, you have 3 weeks out there Fastlane to Mania. And that, to me, is like, that's too short of a build.
Mm-hmm.
There don't need to be a build. She already called her shot. You know the match is happening, so there doesn't even need to be a build.
Why do we care about the match then? Why do we? If there's no build whatsoever, why do we care that they're having a match?
Because those two can go.
But that don't mean
it's a match you want to see.
This is where I think this is where I know this is where me and you disagree. Is that you can't just give me two people and give me a match. Wrestling is not just two people calling each other out and having a match. There needs to be storyline. You got to have both in order for me to be fully invested and really care. If you're just going to say, all right, I won the Royal Rumble, I'm calling you out, we're wrestling at Mania, and then that's it, and then you show up on Mania and you have the match, I'm not going to care.
But they're giving you a storyline, and you don't want to run with it.
They're not doing one.
They're not
All they're
doing
giving us
one.
is that they're happy to be there. That's it.
And it's coming. It's coming.
But that's what I'm saying.
Wait for the plot twist.
The plot twist at 2 weeks before Mania, you're going to give me the plot twist, and then you're supposed to have this great storyline in 2 weeks that's going to make me care about the match.
So then you're going to have them feuding for the whole 3 months or a month and a half?
They can't feud for a month?
And do what?
They couldn't have done this at Elimination Chamber, so we had a month of build up.
And do what? Fight each other for weeks on end?
Jay, how did they build up WrestleMania matches years ago? They
But you're going to complain if they give you the same match over and over and over.
But they don't have to wrestle. They can do other stuff. They can do segments. That's what they do always is segments.
They didn't do from Rumble until Mania the same matches between the same people all the time. You had when Batista turned on Triple H and signed the contract to face him at Mania after winning the Rumble. They didn't give you Batista and Triple H every week until Mania. Why? That's what I'm saying. You don't.
You're just throwing in other useless matches.
I think my problem with it is this is kind of the second main event of the show. If Reigns and Edge are the main event, this is the second main event, and you can't give me a decent storyline to build up why I should care about this match.
This will be main event of night one.
I'm just during this time is when the casual fans start coming back. It's what's happening? So they see that Bianca is the Rumble winner, and then the casual fans come in and be like, okay, if she's fighting Sasha, why are they tagging? They didn't give no story on that. Why they're tagging? She called her out. What's the point of this tag match? It's there has to be something else going.
And then you run the tag back match, or you run the tag match back.
They didn't need to do that. They could have started to break up, but they didn't. Yeah.
That's why after that first match, that should have been it.
Yeah.
You have to give me something, one of them turn heel, punch each other in the face. Let's go.
I mean, you're going to get it.
You're going to get it.
You're getting
slow burn.
I think he's emailing Vince over there right now.
So I'm gonna get all the story that Friday before Mania.
Friday before?
Yeah.
No, you don't get it at Fastlane. It's going to start at Fastlane.
I mean, you have Edge versus Reigns as the main event of Mania, so we all know Roman's beating Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, but yet, like, you're not seeing Edge and Roman being thrown in a random tag team together, or have them, you know.
Wasn't that just the plan until they changed it?
They were supposed to have Edge and Bryan in a tag team.
Whatever the plan really was, they never announced it until they told us that they were thinking about it.
They were thinking about it, yeah.
And they announced it. Then they changed it.
I just feel like you're not gonna have, because you do this pay-per-view so close to Mania, you are not giving the Mania card and the build to Mania the proper time it deserves to get me fully invested for matches at Mania. Am I going to watch Mania? Yes, because it's Mania. But am I going to care about more than one or two matches? Probably not. For somebody that was calling for Bianca versus Sasha or Sasha versus Bayley as the main event of WrestleMania way back in when we first started this podcast.
And now you're not interested?
Not with what they've done so far. No, I'm completely turned off.
You're not interested in the match?
No, not based on the story that they've been telling. I'm not going to be interested just because it's two people having a match. That doesn't. I need substance. You got to have other things. You got to have all the ingredients together to bake a cake. You can't just throw flour in a bowl and slap icing on it and call it a cake. Right? So, like, if you just have two people in a match and they have
oh boy, no, he doesn't eat desserts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But especially for your Rumble winners, you know.
Yeah.
Are you? So you're saying in your eyes they've done this. They've done this the right way since Bianca's won the Royal Rumble so far.
I'm entertained. I don't mind what they do. I'm entertained. It's been entertaining to me so far.
But what has gotten you like? What is?
Because I know who's fighting. That's what's got me. I know who's fighting, and I know they can go. You don't have to give me storyline. You can put two people in the ring, and I'll watch it. I'm not that. I don't need to be talked into a match. I watch this stuff every day, every week, faithfully.
You don't need Eddie Kingston to talk you in?
No, I don't.
Let's move on to NXT. This week on NXT, I think the big thing out of there was the women's tag team match. We had, a little bit ending in controversial fashion. What everybody think of the match, the ending.
The ending, I didn't particularly like the ending. I just don't know how or where they go with the story. Supposedly it's led to some big announcement from Regal next week on the show. Yeah. We'll see what comes out from there.
The rumors possibly women's tag titles in NXT. I don't want to see that.
No, because then that'll be two sets of tag team belts that don't get anything done.
Exactly.
There's not enough women tag teams down there, like actual tag teams.
If it's going to lead to Raquel and Dakota against Nia and Shayna at Mania.
Did Jason just quit?
Like if it leads to Raquel and Dakota against Shayna and Shayna and Nia at Mania, I don't see how that announcement changes the landscape of NXT, like Regal said. Like, why are you doing this? So you have Adam Pearce, who's not that type of authority figure, send down a Raw referee to count out the person that wasn't even legal in the match, because Dakota wasn't the person that was legal. It was Raquel.
if NXT didn't have an authority figure, I could see him being involved, but because that's the way it is on Raw and SmackDown right now. There's no real authority figure, so they kind of put him in that role.
But at that point,
NXT has Triple H and Regal, so why even involve him?
Mm-hmm. At that point in the match, I tweeted out, I'm like, where the hell is Triple H and Regal at? Like, why aren't they sending a ref down? Why is Adam Pearce coming out and sending a ref down?
Mm-hmm. Like, it's creating controversy for no reason.
Mm-hmm. But it's not good controversy. Yeah, like, it was done shitty, so it's not even good controversy.
Yeah.
I mean, look, NXT, I don't know. NXT for some reason is not, I don't know. They've been real hit or miss. Mm-hmm. And normally NXT was your steady, consistent factor.
So is this your evil twin? You know, Mongo left and now Slow Bill. Mongo quit, but Slow Bill logged on to pick up the.
I guarantee you that Jay loves this match, this finish, and what they're doing with it.
We're talking about NXT women's tag team.
The women's tag.
I hate it.
Oh wow! Okay.
Get Nia Jax off the mic, off of anything. Get her out the picture. I hate it. Like it seemed that they seem like they fit more down there, but I hate it.
We're talking about Pierce coming down.
I don't mind. If it was somebody else, yeah. But to run this match back again, I'm tired of seeing Nia and Shayna.
We were saying how Pierce had the ref come down, but where was Regal and Triple H at? It was like NXT already have authority figures. Why is a Raw authority figure coming down?
Yeah, why is a Raw authority figure who is not that type of authority figure bringing down a Raw referee to count out the person that's not even legal in the match?
It builds you to that announcement next week.
What do you think the announcement will be? Do you think it's going to be NXT tag titles, or do you think it's going to be
Raw?
Is that mimosa still flowing through your system?
I wouldn't mind if they added them to the Fastlane match.
So you would add them in the Fastlane. You wouldn't run Nia and Shayna back against Raquel and Dakota at Mania?
I mean, you still got Lana and Naomi waiting to win.
Or would you do it at TakeOver? If they're not going to involve NXT for Mania and they're going to do the 2-night TakeOver, do you just do it then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do it at TakeOver.
But I don't see out of that angle, out of that finish, I don't see what the announcement could be that will change the landscape of NXT. Like, normally Regal's pretty good with his announcements, right? Like, normally when he comes out, you know, the whole War Games, like
War Games.
Regal's good whenever he makes those kind of statements. He normally delivers. But me looking at it, I don't see what he can say that'll like change the landscape unless, like you said, Chris, they bring NXT tag team titles, women's tag team titles to NXT. But then you have you have two sets of women's tag team belts that won't be defended.
Yeah, it's not needed.
I think you'll see it more on NXT. That's why I think the belts should be there more often than Raw and SmackDown. But yeah, you don't need to.
All right, so there was that. You had Roddy and Finn Balor in the main event. They had a really good match. Do you guys care about Adam Cole versus Finn Balor?
Yeah.
I wish it would happen at TakeOver and just not on a random night.
Mm-hmm.
So if it happens, it's already scheduled for NXT.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then, who does the champion face at TakeOver?
Possibly Cross.
Do you have Adam Cole beat Finn Balor, and you have Cole and O'Reilly go at TakeOver?
I keep forgetting about O'Reilly since he a big pawn.
And then you can move Finn to go after Walter.
Huh?
Or do you have Finn win? You still get the Kyle and Cole feud, but that's not for the belt, and you get Cross to go after Finn for TakeOver for Mania.
I think somewhere TakeOver Mania, Cross is going to be involved. And I think him and Escobar is going to be done.
That needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
How many time champ is Cole? Is he 3?
Cole, two time.
Two.
2 time?
Yeah, he's the longest. He's the longest reigning. He held it for those consecutive days.
Okay.
But if those were your two options as far as TakeOver Mania, if you have Cole versus O'Reilly or you have Balor versus Cross, which match would you rather see as the main event for TakeOver Mania?
I'd rather see Cole versus O'Reilly.
Yeah, that has already built-in story to it.
I'm just not. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not sold on Cross. It's just
Chris is frozen. This show sucks. No wonder why nobody turns in. This is terrible. My green screen craps out. Chris has been sleeping and frozen 4 or 5 different times. Jay's Wi-Fi is shoddy because he only likes matches between people who has no interest in storyline. And Arnold decided to throw on a beanie instead of a do-rag today. This show.
That do-rag might still be under there. We don't know.
No, there's nothing under there. There's nothing. Yeah.
What if they don't even do a title? We're getting a title match this upcoming week on NXT. What if they don't even do a title match at TakeOver? What if we see the payoff of whatever this is doing with the Undisputed Era, and Finn? If they do some sort of tag match or, multi-man. I mean, that's what it seems it's been building up to, especially if they're giving us the title match already without a TakeOver.
Didn't not the last one, but the one before not have a title match?
Yeah. War Games didn't have one.
But that's War Games.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 2 title matches this week. You have Io and Tony, and you have Cole and Balor to try
Which should be saved for TakeOver.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Both should be.
To try to pop a rating, and you have TakeOver 3 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 weeks from then. 4 weeks from then. 3 or 4 weeks, depending on how it looks. I think it's 3 weeks. I don't.
And they still haven't even officially announced TakeOver yet. They're advertising it just hasn't even been officially announced.
And then if you're going to make that a 2-nighter, like we said, you would think night 1 you would end with the women's championship match, and night 2 will be the men's. But if you're doing those matches now, what 2 are you going to give me then?
Unless they do a TakeOver, a fatal 4-way, Finn, Cross, O'Reilly, Cole.
Okay.
Because they haven't had a fatal 4-way down in NXT for the title in a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would be better than a tag match than what I was saying. So.
Who do you have go over next Wednesday? Do you have Balor or you have Cole?
Oh, Balor for sure.
I think Balor.
I didn't catch what you said, Chris.
I said Balor.
Oh no, I mean I didn't catch. Everything froze. I didn't catch what. I guess Steve asked the question.
I said, who do you have going over on Wednesday? Do you have Balor or do you have Cole?
Balor. Yeah.
There's too many outside factors that can get involved in this match to give the rub to Cole in this match. At least I think so.
So then, is this where you said, like you said, you get that swerve, and then we go to like Donald said, a fatal 4-way takeover where you could have, either O'Reilly, Dunn. You can even throw Dunn back in the mix too.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or you get Pat McAfee in here.
Chris is shocked by that. He loves it. He loves it. This is our worst show ever.
I don't know what you do. I don't. I like the fatal 4-way option though, because it keeps a lot of people in the loop.
But you have 5 people for 4 spots. So who are you leaving out?
You can go 5.
Fatal 5-way.
But don't give me the same result as the women's. Like,
so
I don't want to.
if Balor goes over, you want Tony to win?
No, I don't want to see like an interference or.
Oh, okay, I got you. You don't want to play it out the same way.
Yeah, no.
Women's wise, I don't think you'll get the interference because I don't see anybody else.
Mm-hmm. So Martinez is just out the picture altogether in your eyes?
Yeah.
Could be.
She was just there for the pinfall.
Yeah, the pin.
Yeah, that was it.
Now, if you get like a count out, finish or whatever, based off of what they've done with Io and Tony so far, like with her attacking Io at the photo shoot and that, and you get them fighting up the ramp, and you get a count out, and then it builds to like a last woman standing match or something like that between them two. Like you build up to that based off of how they started. I'm okay if you go that route with them. If you're not gonna do a title change, like you know what I mean, to lead to takeover, then give me that type of build up to have them in some type of last woman standing or whatever you want to do, falls count anywhere match, whatever, however you want to play it. I don't know. Like I said, NXT was just I
like the stuff with the way and the therapy. That was funny.
What's the end game there? Because obviously Gargano put that whole facade on, and like I don't get where that's going or why he did what he did there.
Mm-hmm.
Put the strap on Loomis.
I think that's eventually where it's going to go to.
Yeah, do something with him. I had a feeling it was supposed to be his time before he got messed up.
Before he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of Loomis.
I think he's been presented really well in NXT.
I think he's very one-dimensional.
TNA tried doing this with the Sam Shaw stalker, gimmick that he did, with what's her face? Why can't I think of her name right now? I want to say Chrissy Teigen, but that's not it. Christy Hemme. They did the stalker, gimmick with Christy Hemme, and it had its moments, but that character was so short on what you could do from that standpoint. I think this version of it, there's more depth to it than there was whenever he was in TNA. So I wouldn't mind seeing him and Gargano go at it at this unannounced, officially announced takeover. And that I enjoyed Cameron Grimes this week, like I have been since he's turned into the billionaire to the moon. Cameron Grimes. The fact that he was just wrestling in the ring with hundreds laying around on the mat and not carrying, even better. Like that's a life goal we should all achieve. That we just have hundreds laying around doing whatever and don't even bother to pick them up. Like care less. What'd you guys think of LA Knight's promo?
He's a talker.
Automatically top guy on the stick in NXT.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see what he can do in the ring now. So I'm not familiar with him from his other previous stints anywhere else. So I really like Eli Drake. He's a throwback on the mic for sure. I think his time in NWA Power, which we'll get into here after we get off of NXT, but his time there, that only enhanced his verbal skills on the microphone based on how that show's set up and what you have to do for that program. So he is by far and away the best talker in NXT. And with that, like, you don't have to be a superstar in the ring because you're so damn good on the mic. So,
and I agree with that. I think he's excellent on the mic. Enjoyed his mic skills in TNA, enjoyed his mic skills in NWA. He's going to do great things here too. haven't always been a fan of his in-ring work, but I agree. Like he's there to talk.
Yeah, so him going with Bronson Reed out the gate, I don't mind that matchup as like a first feud for him. I like Bronson Reed. That's a very athletic big man.
Yeah,
you know, that can do things. So we'll see where he goes. But I think, yeah, you know, you got a verbal gem there. So you let him just go on the microphone, and then if he can do, you know, above average in ring work consistently, I think he'll fit in real nice down there until Vince calls him up, because Vince sees how good he is on the microphone. And then gives him force-fed promos to read. And just so I don't have anything else for NXT this week. Anybody else got anything?
Speaking of staying with WWE, anybody see it was a link saying they're finding people for slapping the knee now?
I did see that, yeah.
For the thigh slap?
Yeah. Is that accurate? That's a part of wrestling.
For the thigh slap?
That's every Uso move.
Yeah, I don't know if that's officially confirmed, but I did see that.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds about like something Vince would do.
All right, we can move on to.
I'm sorry, I
talked about that. You're going.
Other hits from the world of wrestling this week. So NWA announced that they will be back March 21st with a pay-per-view, back for the Attack. Nick Aldis was on Busted Open Radio this week. Really solid interview. If you listen to that show or podcast in general, go back and listen to that. So they're back for the pay-per-view. The 21st through the 24th, they're supposed to be doing TV tapings as well for NWA Power. So NWA Power is coming back. However, it will be exclusively on Fight TV. So they signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Fight TV. So you think about a company that started as a YouTube show in 2016, and in 2021, after a year of a pandemic, they signed a multi-million-dollar year streaming deal with Fight TV. That's pretty good for a company that, you know, many people wrote off as dead.
And they removed all their content from YouTube, like the full episodes of Power, and they're going to Fight. So I liked it being on YouTube, just easy access. That's why I liked it being on there. I mean, Fight TV's definitely been a great wrestling hub, so I'm not going to knock the move. But
no, I don't have Fight TV, but do you have to pay to get Fight TV in order to watch this, or
that I don't know. Usually, Fight TV isn't a subscription based. There are some free things to watch on there, but I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if NWA Power is going to be hidden behind a paywall at all, or if it'll just be free access for everybody, like it was on YouTube.
I'm hoping, and I think it would be smart of them if they make it free on Fight. That will drive up subscriptions to Fight. You can watch it free and then pay for the pay-per-view on Fight like you would any other wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for that. But yeah, I mean, kudos to them. Good move. You know, Aldis in his interview said that he's really excited about the roster that they've assembled. He talked about talent leaving. You know, Eli Drake obviously left LA Knight now in NXT. Ricky Starks, Eddie Kingston. And he said the way that they approach their business model is because of how they film TV tapings, and that most of the talent there are on like 3 or 4 month rotating or rolling contracts. So you'll come in, you'll do your shots, you'll stay with the company for as long as that TV taping series runs. And then if they want to bring you back, they'll bring you back and roll it over. I believe I think he said Thunder Rosa, and Camille were the only 3 that are signed to like long-term deals with NWA. So
Elijah Burke's got to be in that mix too as the TV champ, at least something.
Well, he didn't. Again, this is what he was saying on the interview. I didn't look up to see who was or wasn't signed with
Who are the tag champs? It's the only one I can't think
at
of
this point.
Because you got Nick, you got Serena, you got Elijah, and then the only other titles, the tag titles, I think. And
yeah, I don't know. It wasn't it. It was. Oh, why can't I think of his name? I can't remember. But yes,
I can't think of them either.
But NWA's back, and I think that's good for wrestling. Story tradition, story history. But I think they'll, like they do, they'll have talent on there that will know that are going to be mainstays for their programming, and they'll have talent that, as we see, will come in, shine, and get signed elsewhere. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. He did indicate that there may be some heat between him and Cody, which I didn't know. Bully asked him the question about possibly, at some point in time, running him and Cody back again based off of everything they did with All In and that storyline. And Nick kind of put it off on Cody, like, well, you'd have to ask him. I don't know if he feels the same way as I do. So I don't know if there's some heat there or not. But he did say NWA and AEW has an open working relationship, obviously. But that Billy Corgan and Tony Khan talk regularly. So, we could see people move in and out from both shows. But no, I think NWA,
they're going to do that battle of the belts. It makes sense for the NWA to be involved.
Mm-hmm. They said the current tag champs are Aaron Stevens and JR Kratos.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Stevens, formerly Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Kratos. Yep. Now that you said that, Dawn, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Had to look it up.
That's
I think the last I had saw Trevor Murdoch was one of the tag champs, I think.
Woo!
Yeah.
Last in the past.
Murdoch's really good in NWA.
That's what I heard.
He was really good. He's fit for that show, like from his look, the way he talks on the mic, the promos he cuts. And that's one thing, like Aldis said, you got to be able to cut promos to be on NWA TV.
I believe it.
Because it's that studio-based wrestling where they have matches, but their main deal is cutting promos and talking. So if you can't talk and you're not good on a stick, you're not going to work out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have Eddie Kingston, Ricky Starks, and Eli Drake all signed elsewhere. And what can all three do? Talk on a microphone. So you're looking as far as maybe potential talents to go there. Look for people that are stronger on the microphone that will show up there. We saw New Japan, the IWGP Intercontinental title is no more, as it sets to be unified with the NJPW Heavyweight Championship. Good move, bad move?
I don't like the move. I really don't. I like the IC title, and it's another belt, that wrestlers could contend for. Now they're all contending for one title. Yeah, on that heavyweight title, like on the heavyweight line.
Jay White came out and kind of bashed this move pretty respectfully done by Jay White. You guys clamored for this guy. You wanted this guy. He wanted to be the guy. Now he doesn't want to defend two belts. He wants to unify them and make them one so he doesn't have to work as often. It's basically what he said about Kota Ibushi. So well done there.
In 2020, that was a big thing that I didn't like. That I didn't mind the match at Wrestle Kingdom last year when they had them go for both titles, but then it was every time each match was for both belts, and I didn't like that. And now that they're moving with this, I'm not a big fan of the decision. I think you need that title, especially since the U.S. title, one, isn't really being used that right now at the moment, and two, they're talking about just using it here in the U.S. for their shows here. Yeah, you're losing that mid-card title. I guess the Never title could still be, in a way, a title, or the junior heavyweight title could be, but it's not the same. You need that next tier, for especially for how many talent they have in New Japan.
So is this their way of making the U.S. North American Championship a higher level belt.
But if they only use it here, no.
Well, I mean, if your goal is to be bigger in the States, and we saw that, they're still working with Ring of Honor. They, obviously they're working with AEW, and you're going to have some of your talent here and Impact. So you have 3 companies that you're working with. If your goal is to get more eyes on your product in the States, having that belt elevated to mean something more would kind of do the trick.
I mean, it elevates it here, but I don't think it elevates it in the company overall, really. Like, if Kenta would have won the match last week and taken the title back to Japan to defend it there as well as defending it here, yes. I don't see Moxley doing that right now. And maybe this match, maybe we talked about last night, what the main event does for Moxley. Maybe this gives him a chance to step away and go do some New Japan stuff with the title.
Yeah, so there's that. Impact, solid show again. Even though the stream cut out, missed like the last 45 minutes, which hasn't happened in a really long time. But they're on their way. They're building up to Sacrifice. It's not No Surrender, it's Sacrifice. I got the name wrong last week. So Sacrifice will be March 13th. So next weekend. Next Saturday. You have right now, as announced on that card, you have Rich Swann and Moose for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. You have the Good Brothers versus Finjuice for the tag titles. You have Ace Austin versus TJP for the X Division belt. And I believe it's Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace for the women's tag team belt.
Lineup.
So that's a solid show right there with just those 4 title matches. So it will be on Impact Plus again. So, easy to tune in and watch. Ring of Honor was really good last week. If you're not watching it, you're sleeping on it. Ring of Honor's been really good. They did announce it for their 19th anniversary show. It will be Jay Briscoe challenging Roosh for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship, which I think that match will be really good. I'm a big Jay Briscoe guy. Always liked him, regardless if it's been him singles or him tag team. He's been out of the singles picture for a long time, so glad to see him getting back up in there. There was a title change on TV this past week. The tag team titles changed hands. The belts are now with Los Ingobernables. Why can't I? Los Ingobernables. Whatever.
Los Ingobernables.
Yeah, Kenny King and them. They defeated. They defeated Jay Gresham and Jay Lethal. So the foundation no longer has the tag team straps. All the gold is now with Los Ingobernables. I can't pronounce that. Again, I'm a dumb mark. So, no, Ring of Honor has been really well. I would suggest today's episode will come on at 4:00. But they're building up to a really good card for their 19th anniversary show. So that's there. And then I just had a couple like one-off things that I saw that caught my eye. Tama Tonga tweeted out, of Bullet Club and Gorillas of Destiny fame, tweeted out, "Shall we dance?" ? And then tagged FTR and the Good Brothers. And Dax from FTR replied back, "Sorry, bro, I've been getting ready for a match on national television. One day I'll let you know how that feels." Real top notch. If this is going to lead to, FTR and Gorillas of Destiny in a match, I'm all for it. That'll be good. That'll be a solid match.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good tag team. I'd like to see them be on TV here.
And last thing that caught my eye this week, in an article on Fightful, Chris Jericho said MJF reminds me of Kurt Angle.
In what sense?
I don't know about that.
In what sense?
So
Jason's face was just classic there.
here we go. I'll read off what he said. He said, he reminds me a lot of Kurt Angle. What I mean is he's a guy that picked up wrestling so quick, not just in the ring, but character-wise. A lot of guys 24 years old don't understand that character is the most important thing in wrestling. It's more important than any move you can do or match you can have. Max gets that. Combine that with the fact that he was a child actor and in musicals, all sort of things you need to expand on the character. He also doesn't give a shit. So high praise there from Jericho for MJF. Again, it's hard to believe, when you hear MJF only being 24 years old. That's high praise.
So he was on MLW then what? Whenever he was like 21, 22.
Yeah.
And he got it then.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean when he did Stone Cold's podcast and they had that, the bit at the end with him throwing the water in Stone Cold's face and everything else, like that generated a lot of buzz. He was probably 21, 22 at that time. So
he gets it.
MJF was on Jericho's podcast this week. Go back and listen to that. It is a great interview. They pretty much bury everybody in true MJF and Jericho fashion, and it was just it's a good listen. So go back and check that out. But other than that, I don't have nothing else for wrestling this week. You guys good?
Good.
Chris, you frozen over there. God, this shit.
I think we're okay.
Sounds like that Autobot sound.
Chug, 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 chug.
This week's Drink of the Week segment is brought to you by having a shit show, so we got to open up a beer to freaking drink down this god-awful show.
The technical difficulties today is unreal.
So this week we're back on the Hitchhiker trail again. Last week we all screamed from Hitchhiker Brewing Company here in Pittsburgh. This week we're doing the breakfast buffet. It is an Imperial Stout with coffee, maple syrup, and cinnamon cereal. I'm really excited for this one. It is 9% alcohol by volume.
So last week was 10.
Last week was 10. This one was 9. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this all week. So hopefully it's as good as last week's was. Ooh. Okay. I'm liking that. Liking that.
No cheers? No. Goddamn. Everybody's going with the drink?
No, it's been a shit show. We got a chug.
You able to open up this one, Jason?
Did he just spit it out? Did he really just spit that out?
No, that's bad. God.
If it's not Miller Lite mixed with Crystal Light, Jay's not drinking it. So don't have him on the drink of the week no more.
Am I drinking coffee grounds? What am I drinking?
You gotta have you gotta mix the beer with the orange juice too. Don't forget that.
I don't even know if I want to mix this with orange juice. No.
Oh God, no. That's one thing I've never understood is people that can drink coffee and orange juice at the same time. It's like, why?
Oh, this one's rough. At least the last one was smooth with the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
This one is...
Well, we know Jay's going to shit on this, so we don't even need to go to him for a review. I think the coffee is the most overpowering flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's more like burnt coffee beans.
Yeah.
That's what I said. So you agree? It's shit.
It's like getting a cup of Starbucks. It's burnt coffee. I'm not really getting the. I thought I would get more of like the maple and the cinnamon.
Yeah,
I'm getting none of that.
The coffee just overpowers it so much.
You barely smell
I'm not getting
either.
any of the cinnamon. Yeah, I could smell the maple a little bit. Burnt coffee, definitely, Steve. That's the number one flavor that's hitting. It's just very overpowering. I do get a little bit of the maple, a little bit, not a lot, but yeah, it's that coffee's way too much. I mean, as much as I like coffee in my beer, it's way too overpowering and not in a good way.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give this one a hard pass for me. I was sorely disappointed. I was super hyped for this.
After last week's, how good that was, I better.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 2.
Go round. I'm not sure what I'm gonna give it yet.
It's not the worst we've had.
No.
It's definitely bottom tier out of everything that we've tried.
I give it a 1. I'm not a coffee person at all, and the coffee is just way too strong. It's not up my boat at all.
Wait a minute, I can't shit on it, but we all can shit on it.
No, I didn't say you can't. I said that you were already going to, so we don't need to give you a review. We know what it is. Like, yeah, like we saw. I mean, that initial sip and you going off screen was enough to say how much you dislike this beer. So
there was no, I love it. Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
What do you give it, Jason?
I don't know. I just took some Sprite and it tastes like sausage. So I don't know what kind of mix they got going on here.
How do you?
I don't know. It's like
This is our work. This is our work show. Whatever goodwill we build up with fans, this show just freaking tanked us. Jesus.
Like, it just tastes like syrup sausage links. I don't know what. Okay, I'm gonna give. I get that flavor it too. This coffee's a 1. Or this Buffett.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you got?
I keep going back and forth. I don't think I can go any higher than a 1 either. I think the coffee's just so overpowering. I was thinking maybe 1.5, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with a 1.
All right, so this beer is the shits.
I can't even taste the stout in it. It's all coffee.
Yeah, you don't even get stout.
Yeah, you don't even get stout. It's just all coffee.
Burnt coffee.
Yeah.
Can I retroactively upgrade my other votes from last couple weeks?
No. So all right, so then, yeah, this is trash. I wouldn't recommend this beer to anybody, but which is a shame because I was coming in off the high from last week with the We All Scream. That was really good.
I wish I had an extra can of We All Scream right now.
Yeah, no. So it's garbage. Don't go buy it. Get something else from Hitchhiker. But with that being said, lift up your cans, glasses, bottles, brown paper bags, shot glasses, solo cups, red or blue, whatever you're drinking out of, and to good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the seas. But the best ships are friendships, and friends will always be.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh God.
That's not a good way to go into the next segment.
All right, so there's just a bunch of random stuff this week in sports from all over the place. I guess we can hop in with the NBA and basketball since we have All-Star weekend. All-Star game will be Sunday night on TNT. The All-Star game itself will start at 8. The coverage kicks off at 5. They'll have the skills competition and three-point shootout before the game, and they'll have the slam dunk contest at halftime of the game. And again, they went with team captains this year to pick the All-Star teams, Team LeBron and Team Kevin Durant. Durant is not playing in the All-Star game itself, but he did draft the team based off of picks. So on Team LeBron, you have Giannis, Steph Curry, Luka, Nikola Jokic, Dame Lillard, Ben Simmons, Chris Paul, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Sabonis, and Rudy Gobert. So that's Team LeBron. Team Durant, you have Kyrie, Joel Embiid, Kawhi, Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum, James Harden, Devin Booker, Zion Williamson, Zach LaVine, Julius Randle, Jukovic, or I can't pronounce that last name, and Donovan Mitchell.
You said Westbrook at all?
Who?
You said Westbrook at all?
I didn't catch that. What?
You said Westbrook. Russell
Did you say
Westbrook.
Not Westbrook. Nikola.
No, I mean anywhere.
No, Westbrook's not an all-star. Yeah. I guess the big takeaway from the draft was the fact that Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, who are on the Utah Jazz and are the number 1 seed in the West, were the last 2 players picked.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron came out and said, y'all got to relax. You know, nobody played with Utah growing up on video games.
What? Nobody played with Utah?
Yeah.
Even with Stockton and Malone, he said
nobody played with them.
No, NBA Jam, they got some run.
And even Live 98.
So yeah, you know, hey, it is. I mean, it is what it is. I like the All-Star game format that they did last year, which they're doing this year again, where they do the point system at the end of the game, going into the last quarter. Whoever's up by however many, the goal is to get to 24 points exactly, and then the game's over. You know, that in memory of Kobe, they're continuing that tradition on. Again, it's for charity, so the winning team, it's to benefit HB historically black colleges this year, so that'll go to that. It's an all-black crew refereeing, and referees from all historically black colleges. So, you know, NBA, whether you think it's right or wrong for what they're doing, but yeah, they're obviously going in that direction with All-Star Weekend. So I was originally going to tune into this, but with AEW being on, I don't know if I'll watch any of this at all, honestly. The other thing from basketball that I wanted to talk about, and I don't know, so this Overtime Sports company, they're called Overtime, but they're launching a basketball league where they're creating another option for amateur players. So kids that are in high school that don't want to go to college but want to earn a living playing basketball, they can go play in this league started up by this Overtime Sports company.
XBA.
Perks include $100K salary, health benefits, equity stake in Overtime company itself, and then if a player doesn't pursue pro basketball, they'll be given another $100K for college tuition. The downside to this is if you sign with this league, you give up all your eligibility. So you can't go play high school. You can't finish your high school career, and you can't finish your college career. Their thinking behind this is they want it to be like how in Europe they have the soccer academies. That, you know, you sign kids to pro deals, they work, they train in one place to eventually get them to, you know, whatever team runs the soccer academy. That's kind of where their goal and their overall vision is for this. Do you guys like this? You think this is another shot in the dark? You think it'll actually get up? Because wasn't LeVar Ball supposed to be doing this? Starting up another league to pay players.
But you're saying you can leave they can leave high school?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that part.
So it's like a you know, a 15, 16-year-old, you can sign a contract with this league, go play professional basketball with them. You'll be paid $100,000, but you give up the rest of your high school and college eligibility.
Okay, but you're just saying sports.
You're just what?
So but just basketball, right?
Yeah, it's just
this is only basketball.
Yeah, it's just basketball.
But still, once you get money, your amateurism is gone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're done. When you sign with them, you're done. You can't play high school or college ball no more.
Yeah, so no matter if you're like a double sport or something, if you play football or whatever, once you sign, you're finished.
You're done.
This is kind of like whenever I was in college, we kind of had that discussion in sport management about, is there a reason to go to college instead of just skipping right to the pros? And I think this would kind of be in that conversation too. I don't know. Yeah, I would rather see someone go to college, get a little bit more of an education. This way they don't waste their money. And then, in a few years, if it doesn't work out for them, have no career path. I know that's not going to be for everybody, but.
It then like a 16 or the 15 or 16-year-old getting 100,000 like right off the bat. That's, in these days and time and everything, that's kind of iffy on my part.
No.
Yeah, unless it's like parent controlled or something, because they could go out and just blow that money like instantly, or somebody, unfortunately, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just something to keep an eye on. I don't know if it'll ever get up off the ground. Nobody has signed with them so far. This was just kind of the announcement that I saw this week. Baseball wise, I saw that the Pirates this week announced that capacity at PNC Park will be 7,672 fans. Max.
Okay.
More than average.
That's what they'll be allowed in.
They're going to get it because I think people are just going to be just looking forward to going to do something that they'll probably get that.
Listen, we played this game already. You can't name me 4 Pirates, so there's no reason for me to go to this game. I'd rather drive out to Washington Wild Things and watch minor league baseball than I will going down.
It did now here in the city too. They're getting on Cole Tucker because he's dating Vanessa Hudgens.
Hudgens.
Hudgens. And then they always be like, "Oh, did his girlfriend see his home run and all that stuff?" It was just like, come on, man.
Yeah. So there's that. I saw with the Pirates, the Penguins got into a little bit of hot wire this week. So they had fans in the stands, but they're I forget what department it was, but basically they got caught putting photoshopping masks on people that didn't wear masks.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, and then they put it out there saying that
they put it out there. They were complying with everything. They did remove 17 fans from the game who weren't wearing their masks properly. So all in all, it was just a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so difficult.
Really bad look.
This is kind of just like whenever you go to a restaurant, so if you're eating or drinking in the stands, you don't have to wear your mask. And I think it's just because sometimes it can be, I think some fans just probably don't want to put the mask back on, but I think, it kind of gives them a bad reputation at the same time that if they are eating or drinking and fans just don't see them wearing the masks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They said that they have to be eating and drinking like directly, like right then and there. So once you take your drink or something, you have to throw your mask back on. All chewing or swallowing.
Yeah.
So there was that hockey-wise. NFL news and notes. Big Ben re-signed with the Steelers. Restructured his contract. Will be making $14 million this year, which eventually saved $15 million on the salary cap. I still don't like it.
Same here.
Still don't like it.
But it's no surprise.
It's delaying the inevitable, and I just don't see the point in it at this junction.
It's time to pull the trigger on your future. I'm sorry, it is.
There will be some shock and awe this week coming out of the NFL with roster cuts and names that are available. Diana Rossini tweeted out that it's going to be a massacre. We already saw some names being dropped, but I think there's going to be a lot of people out there that you would never expect to have been cut that are going to be cut just because of this salary cap situation, which is going to lead to, I think, a lot of people signing 1 or 2 year deals, and then it'll just lead to a mad dash free agency in like 2023 where the cap rises back up and teams have room and people are going to be paid out the wazoo. So there's that to keep an eye on upcoming. Also saw so traditionally the NBA has Christmas Day. They play 5 games, usually Christmas Day. Well, the NFL now, based off of last year's success with the Saints Vikings on Christmas Day, it looks like the NFL are going to plan on running 2 games on Christmas Day, no matter when Christmas Day falls, as long as it's a Saturday, Sunday. I believe as long as it's a Saturday, Sunday. Well, actually, they ran it on Friday last year, so
it looks like this year is Friday, Saturday.
So they're planning on running 2 games on Christmas, based off of the ratings that they got back, which sadly will diminish the NBA viewership and will take away from NBA on Christmas. That kind of tradition, NFL has Thanksgiving, NBA has Christmas. But it looks like the NFL is going to kind of bully their way into Christmas. And
do you think the NBA will try to bully their way in on Thanksgiving now too?
Doesn't matter. They're not going to. They're not
going to compete, but just trying to take some of the market.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see what comes out of it. Just something else to keep your eye on there. And then I also saw NFL news, and with it being Women's History Month, Maya Chaka, I'll probably butchered her name, so I do apologize there. She'll be the first Black woman to officiate at the NFL level this upcoming season. Mm-hmm. So kudos to her. Shout out to her. With Women's History Month. There's that. Skip Bayless signed a deal for $32 million with Fox Sports.
Okay.
Skip Bayless. 69-year-old Skip Bayless. Dawn's idol.
Oh, not my idol.
That shows the money that there is.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there was a bidding war for him. ESPN tried to get him back to reunite him with Stephen A. Smith. They offered around between 28 to 30, 31 million, and Fox came over the top and paid him a 4-year deal at $32 million.
Just to talk.
To say the same shit every single day that he says.
I love the Cowboys. Tom Brady's the best.
I need some of my coverage without bias, Down
the middle.
Just some.
Yeah,
that's what the dumb marks are for.
Oh, there's bias here too.
What else is there? JJ Watt signed with the Cardinals, obviously. I know Steelers fans were hoping for him to sign with the Steelers, but if you look at it, he was never going to sign with the Steelers. No. They didn't have the cap room. They run a 3-4. He's a 4-3 DN. It's just not going to – it was never really truly an option, regardless of if both his brothers play here or not. So he signed with them. What else was there?
Irv Cross, he passed away last weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Dolphins cut Kyle Van Noy after 1 year into a 4-year deal.
Vikings cut Cal Rudolph.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's gonna be crazy. The names that are out there. Did you see the clip of this basketball wrestling league?
Oh yeah, that Russia.
They're playing full contact basketball with wrestling matches going on as they're playing basketball.
Pro or like collegiate?
So it's like a fair league where
you're on the basketball. Yes. Yeah, you're on the basketball court, but you're in wrestling, amateur wrestling gear.
Yeah.
And you don't have to bounce the ball. You just got to find your way to the basket. But they're literally locking up, pulling each other down, wrestling on the court.
Yeah. I think you need to dribble. Dribble should be a staple in that.
Yeah, but you can knock people out of the sky and all that stuff.
My thing is is there a shooting or is there a limit to where you can
midair
shoot?
for dunk?
Because like nobody was pulling up from range.
No,
Everybody was like,
never got up for the
there's
layup.
no margin on the ground where you go in.
Mhm.
I thought it was like maybe you had to get to a certain point before you can shoot.
There was that, and then I saw booty basketball being played in Atlanta. Which in 2021, I don't know how that's getting off. If I lived in the Atlanta
Poor choice of words, Steve. Poor choice of words.
If I lived in the Atlanta metro area and happened to be looking for a night out, I may venture in to watch a booty basketball game. If you haven't seen the clip, go seek it out. It was
interesting.
Yeah.
Just give me the ass. I don't need the basketball. Just like it just turns into like a little dance off like halfway through a match. I don't need that. Just I'm coming from one or the other. The ass or the basketball.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
marriage. It's a marriage of both worlds. So, and then big night tonight, UFC pay-per-view. Before we run through the main card for the pay-per-view here, it was reported that Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal will have a rematch in September. I talked about this on the pod last week. I said this match needed to happen. Dana White would be smart to make it happen. Giving Masvidal a full training camp for this fight is what he's been calling for. They really dislike each other. So this is going to be a great build, and I can't wait if, in fact, this goes off in September. This is going to be one that I will cough up money for instantly to watch. So, yeah, that's the big, besides the pay-per-view tonight, that was the big reported news from UFC this week. So, Chris, you got the card pulled up?
Yeah. Some of these names I'm going to butcher. I know it. Do we just want to do the 3 title fights?
Yeah, the 3 title fights. You got Adesanya and Blachowicz for the light heavyweight belt. That one, Adesanya trying to become the 5th man to win 2 belts at one time in 2 different weight classes. He weighed in as the lightest light heavyweight weigh-in of any light heavyweight competitor. He was 200.5 pounds. Doesn't plan on bulking up at all for the fight. Blachowicz probably is going to put on like another 15 to 20 pounds, rehydrate. So there'll be a serious weight discrepancy when they get into the octagon tonight. I don't know if that'll play a factor into it, but I'm hoping the last style bender comes out victorious because he is just he embodies everything that the UFC is about, and he's a showman of showmen that can just absolutely go inside the cage. Nothing. Okay.
No, I wasn't sure if we were frozen, honestly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the card tonight. This is probably the first card for UFC that I've really been looking forward to in a while. Adesanya, 20-0 right now. His last 4 fights have been in the middleweight, so is 5 months, since he last fought. Is that enough time to move up to the light heavyweight rankings? Out of his 20 fights, 15 of them have been knockouts. So yeah. I think we're going to see a new light heavyweight champion tonight.
You do? Yeah. I see the same thing here. I think Adesanya he had enough time to build up and all that, so I'm going with him.
All right, we'll go talk about the women's featherweight, Amanda Nunes, who's also the bantamweight champion, versus Megan Anderson.
Yeah, I don't see any way Amanda Nunes loses. I mean, she is easily the greatest women's fighter of all time, and every fight that she has just adds another block to her legacy that may never be reached again. She may not be as mainstream as Ronda Rousey, but she is, has clearly shown that she is levels above Rousey as far as fighting goes. So I like Nunes to retain, keep the ball rolling. I just don't until she loses, I will not pick against her.
Same
I
here.
agree.
Yeah, definitely. She's just going to keep rolling. I don't see her losing no time soon at all. Because she's a fighter's champ. Like, she just goes in, like, both classes and just dominates.
Only thing going into this fight that I don't like is that her last 2 fights have went decision, and I just hope she doesn't become one of those champions that just lets every fight go to decision now. So that's my only hesitancy about this fight. But Nunez is a great champion. I agree. I'm sticking with her.
All right, and then the last title fight.
Bantamweight title fight, Jan versus Sterling.
Yeah, for me, this is a coin flip. I didn't look at FanDuel to see who was favored in this match. I believe this one could be fight of the night, based on them two both. I think I'm going to go with Sterling, but it's a coin flip for me as far as picking this fight.
I don't know enough about both fighters, so I really can't tell. So I'll just throw it up and just pick the champ to retain.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with either of them either, just from the research that I was doing on this card. Jan is undefeated in the UFC. His last 7 fights have been in the UFC. He's only had 1 decision, and compared to Sterling, who the majority of his fights go decision. So I think that that could be in Jan's favor, and I'm going to stick with the champ as well.
All right,
I'll go with the champ.
All right. Well, that's all for this week in sports. I don't think I have anything else.
Just one other thing. I don't know if you guys saw PNC Park renewed their naming rights for another 10 years.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So
that was a shocker because they were rumored to not. Were not going to renew those rights. So
yeah. So not only did they renew, but they also changed the logo, so that there'll be some new stuff down there. We'll see. It looks more like the PNC Bank logo now than what they had before.
All right.
Okay.
Yep. Let's get into the world famous, world renowned. Final thoughts. One got to go.
I don't know why your stream went off, Jason. Because you changed your name. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to episode 27 of the Dumb Marks podcast. As always, our information's down below, so you can like us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Dumb Marks POD.
Drop me out.
Okay. We're live every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So always tune in, leave us some comments during the show so we can interact. And then if you don't have social media, but you still want to send some stuff in, you can email us at dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Guys, do you have anything before we head into the One Gotta Go game when Steve gets back?
Nothing at all. I think we covered everything.
I think so too.
Yeah, a lot of technical issues.
So many today. I don't. It had to have been StreamYard. I don't know.
Mine's because we did last night and I didn't charge my laptop.
Okay.
And then when I had it on charge, it was still dying. So it's about time for a new laptop.
Actually, let's talk about that after the show. But yeah, I don't have anything else. I don't think. Is there any other snacks or anything that we missed? Or I will bring this one up. We didn't cover it in wrestling. So Lashley mentioned that he would like to add a female member to the Hurt Business. Does anybody have any thoughts on who they would like to see as that female member?
I don't even know who's on Raw like that to even think. Except Naomi.
If it was like Mia Yim, maybe I wouldn't mind seeing Mia Yim, but they got to disband.
She's already with
Fusion. They got to cut
unless
that out.
Unless you bring Mercedes back up for it.
Oh yeah,
Mercedes.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we just brought up to have a quick conversation of maybe a female member joining the Hurt Business. Bobby Lashley had brought that up in some interviews this week. So,
Yeah,
I don't see anybody that fits that style though, other than Yim.
I'm thinking brawler.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't.
Unless Shayna would join after she loses the tag titles.
I figured they'd be back.
Yeah, I think that too. But Shayna would look really good with the Hurt Business.
No.
Yeah, she would.
And go back to that, bully that she was in NXT.
Yeah.
I had just a couple quick things before we jump into One Gotta Go.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys saw this, but it made its way around 2.4 million views for this. Did you guys see the video of the French toast waffle pancake?
I did.
Mm-mm.
I was going to try to make it too.
So it starts out with pouring waffle batter into a waffle iron. So you make a waffle, right? Then you get pancake batter. You pour that into the pot, make your pancake. You put the waffle on top of the pancake. Okay, put it into the pancake batter. So it's the waffle on top, pancake on the bottom. Then you make your French toast. Dip that into the the French toast mixture and fry it up like French toast. I don't know about Jins, but I'm like completely sold. This may be the greatest thing ever.
Like I legit have that video saved on my phone just so I can.
It's bookmarked on Twitter. So
I like all three things, so I don't have a problem with it. But let me know if it works.
And then lastly, I just thought with Coming to America, it came out this week on Amazon Prime. It's just interesting to me that Zamunda, the Palace, was Rick Ross's house, filmed in Atlanta.
I'm watching that after we get off.
It was filmed at his 250-acre estate or whatever he has there. But yeah, so Rick Ross's house is the palace in the movie. A lot of people liked it. I didn't see too many people shitting on it for being a remake. They said that they did it right. They got it right. It was funny.
I've seen mixed reactions on Facebook.
I've seen it too, but I'm not going in expecting Coming to America 1.
Yeah.
Or anything.
You can't.
So many times with remakes, you just need to let them be. I felt like this was one that you just need to let be, especially given the time frame, the gap between the movies. But I don't have Prime, so I won't be watching it.
I don't know how Saul and all of them are still alive, so everybody in the barbershop.
Hey, you could, you know what I mean? Like they could be in their late 80s, early 90s. My dad was gray when he was 20, 22 years old. So like you could have that situation. 30 years later, there's a chance, people do live to be, older than 100. So yeah, I don't have Prime, so I won't be watching it, but hopefully it'll come out on DVD or something, or some other way to watch it besides just being strictly on Prime, because I do want to see it. But all right, anybody else have any final thoughts before we jump into the? All right, before you bring it up, Chris.
Yeah.
So we had the Battle of the Chicken a couple weeks ago. They got some great reaction, great pub, great interaction with you guys out there. We appreciate you viewing it and sharing it and liking it and commenting on it. Last week we did the comedy shows to end Black History Month. So again, good reaction, good like, good share. We appreciate you guys. This week, probably going to be another controversial one here. We're going to jump back into food here. And go with the Battle of the French Fries.
And this is a little different. Donald created this one as well, but we're going to do one gotta go, and then you pick one that you'll eat for the rest of time.
So we have Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, McDonald's, Five Guys, and nacho fries from Taco Bell. Who wants to start?
I'll start it off, and we can work our way down. But how do we want to do everybody give both their answers at the same time, or we want to do one first, then go back around?
We can do both if you want to do both. That's fine.
All right.
There's no real wrong way. I'm sure this is going to get ugly. I got a feeling.
For me, this was simple. This was too easy. I as soon as Donald said this one, I knew what I was doing. One gotta go, nacho fries. Those things are trash. The one that I'm eating for the rest of the time, McDonald's French fries. Easy peasy. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Donald.
My one gotta go, Five Guys fries. I don't like the soggy fries at all. That never was my thing. And the one I'll eat for the rest of the time, that got to be McDonald's. Definitely.
Look, I've never had Five Guys fries. I've never had the nacho fries. And Arby's still has to go.
Crazy.
Just off the base of it being Arby's. The whole franchise has to go.
All right, the Arby's slander got to stop. Because
It does. It does.
Arby's is way better than McDonald's. Okay, got a way better menu than McDonald's. Got way better than McDonald's.
That's a thing you might want to take back.
Arby's sauce. No, not at all. You're crazy. Arby's slander is ridiculous.
Arby's fries got to go, and McDonald's is for the rest of my life.
Y'all are ridiculous. McDonald's
I should have McDonald's tattoo on me.
McDonald's fries are not the right choice here. Okay? McDonald's fries are only good for the 10 seconds when they come out of the grease and are piping hot. Other than that, they're trash. So once they're cold,
every other fry.
That's fries in general.
Look, I've had a McDonald's fry out of a car between a car seat like 3 days later.
No,
and I'm still eating it.
Absolutely not.
McDonald's
fry.
fry.
I'm gonna go with,
that's how you catch COVID.
Different times.
You catch more than that.
I'm getting rid of Five Guys. I don't like Five Guys fries. I'm getting rid of Five Guys. Nacho fries are a sleeper on this list. For those of you that don't know. And if I got to pick one fry to eat for the rest of the time, I'm going with the Chick-fil-A waffle fry. Nothing better than a waffle fry.
They just feel incomplete though when you get the ketchup on them.
What?
They just feel incomplete.
How? Why? Because they have holes in them?
I don't know. That's it.
No.
You don't get
give me a waffle fry any day of the week. I just had some sweet potato waffle fries the other day for dinner. They were amazing. They were fire.
Don't get me wrong, you're good. You're number 3 on my list.
And
what good?
If I'm ranking these, if I'm gonna rank these, I don't know if I put McDonald's over Wendy's or Arby's fries.
Shut your face.
Wendy's fries are so terrible.
No, they're not. They're better.
Not.
Out of this list, they're number 2 on my list.
You said Wendy's?
Wendy's is number 2 on my list.
Look, when they changed to the sea salt and the skin potatoes, I was iffy, but they came around.
Yeah, the Wendy's fries with the sea salt and the thicker cut. Yeah, absolutely.
I like them better now than their old fries.
I like the old fries better.
No,
but they've come around.
I'll put McDonald's may be next to last on my list if I'm ranking these. I may even put nacho fries over them.
I think you're taking personal shots at me. That's how I feel.
McDonald's is overrated. It's overrated. It's overrated. McDonald's is.
The fries is the only reason why I go to McDonald's.
Thank you, Chris. It ain't the only reason I go, but
if you can't eat them in the first 5
seconds, their Coke hits different than
it does.
Else,
yeah, because the Coke is airtight.
Yeah.
So there's a Sprite. Everything hits different at McDonald's.
Yeah,
even
really
the ice cream you can't get hits different.
The ice cream that you can't get. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. It's always out of order.
Yeah, but every time I go to McDonald's, I have to have a large fry, no matter what.
No, if I'm ranking these, I'm going Chick-fil-A. I'm going Arby's curly fry, Wendy's. I'll put McDonald's 4th, and then I'll go nacho fries, Five Guys. If I'm ranking these,
I'm going McDonald's.
Come at me. Everybody come at me. McDonald's fries are trash and they're overrated.
I'm going McDonald's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, nacho fries, Five Guys, Arby's. And I hate curly fries.
I will go McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's, Nachos, Chick-fil-A, then Five Guys.
You're putting a waffle fry down at 5? Are you serious?
Again, this is Chick-fil-A we're talking about. Their fries are better than their chicken, so and that's not saying much. So,
dude. Oh my God!
I mean, let's also talk about Steve is also the one destroying McDonald's, and he also killed off Mufasa a couple weeks ago. So let's just put all this round this out, and his opinions on some.
It's another. We're the three horsemen up here.
If I could put this in order, it's McDonald's number 1. I'd probably go Chick-fil-A 2, Arby's 3, Five Guys, Wendy's, nacho fries.
Man, I tell you,
just blow this up every week.
I'm
Steve's
telling
the
you,
lone guy.
We're the 3 W's for wrong, and wrong.
You're the Baron Corbin of this group.
I'm telling you, boy. Chick-fil-A got everybody brainwashed on their food, boy.
You're crazy.
I'm telling you.
Fries are
now their drinks might be something else. Now I agree with their drinks and all that stuff, but their food,
their expensive ass lemonade.
Man, y'all, I do not know what people.
Don't even come at that lemonade.
It's not better than Wendy's.
I'm not saying the lemonade's bad. It's just expensive for no reason.
Yeah. It's not better than Wendy's strawberry lemonade.
Well, strawberry lemonade is better than just regular lemonade in general, so I can't argue with you there.
I mean, you get that freckled lemonade at Red Robin.
Did we mention McDonald's is bringing high C back?
We did. We did mention that.
There we go.
Nobody cares because their fries are overrated. It's not even worth going.
No, you're the only one that doesn't care. 3 of us care.
Now, if we would have put Burger King's fries in from like the early 90s, like crispy, that would have been number 1.
Burger King's fries were always trash.
Who's the real one?
Burger King's fries now are trash.
Oh, Burger King's fries now are the worst.
Burger King used to have the best fries.
No, Burger King's fries are trash. The Whopper's always been trash. The only thing
the Whopper
is you cut him off. Cut him.
The only thing that was ever good from Burger King was the Hershey pie. That's it.
Wow.
The Hershey pie.
Hershey pie.
Yeah, I tell you, we chose the Whopper over dinner sometimes.
Whopper was garbage.
We were like, Mom, we want Whoppers, and we would go.
If I had to eat Burger King, in a pinch, and there was no other restaurants around, it was like, you got to eat Burger King. What are you getting? It would have been the chicken sandwich. Other than that,
I mean, there's a reason it's not on this list, but the Whopper's good.
Whopper's
all right, now Donald, I know you're going to feel me on this one, but where do you put Sheetz fries?
Oh, Sheetz fries is good. On this list, just with this one we have
if
here,
we would add Sheetz fries in here.
Sheetz fries, I'll give it third. So right after McDonald's. Yeah, after McDonald's. I'll be second.
I might put them underneath McDonald's.
Yeah, because I like Sheetz fries.
Yeah.
I've never had Sheetz fries. Don't ever plan on eating Sheetz fries.
Why not? Have you been drunk before?
You too good for Sheetz?
I have. No. If I'm going to Sheetz, I'm ordering an MTO. I'm usually getting the pretzel sandwich.
With fries.
No fries. Just the pretzel sandwich.
You get a sandwich with no meal?
That's the sandwich. I'm gonna double up on the pretzel bun breakfast sandwich. That's what I'm gonna do if I'm going to Sheetz and I'm drunk.
Sheetz, you get the bucket.
Michaels, please.
You get the big bucket for Sheetz. That's the only way to go.
Yeah, a bucket to throw in the trash. That's what they give you.
Oh man.
All right, so we're taking applications again for Denmark.
Jay, you're for real going to stop with the Arby's slander? Like,
yeah, that got to stop. That has to stop.
No, it doesn't.
We're not talking about like early '80s Arby's where it's just beef and cheddar. Their menu is legit, and they have It's
Who
legit.
says, I want a roast
chicken sandwich.
It has a variety.
They got 20 different sandwiches you can order.
Ooh, a variety.
I bet they got chipped ham.
Dude, they got everything. Listen, their turkey bacon ranch sandwich is amazing.
Who sells turkey in a fast food place?
Arby's. That's why, because they have the meats. It's good. It's delicious. It's way better than McDonald's.
The chicken sandwich is good. Their buffalo chicken sandwich is good. They're Reuben for
Their
just
fish
being
is
random.
good.
Fish is good. The
Their
Reuben's
fish is
good.
very
Fish
good.
sandwich is good right now.
Mhm.
We're gonna have a mobile segment called Jason Tries Arby's.
I know.
Once we can get together again,
I know
we'll do that.
I know. There's anything on Arby's menu is better than the McRib. I know that much.
I've had it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I believe you with that.
There's a reason it
wholeheartedly
comes
with you
off
with
the
that.
list.
McRib is trash.
just like your guys' take that McDonald's fries are the best fries out. If they're not piping hot, garbage.
You like them
Any
piping hot?
fries like that. Any fries like that. It's not piping hot.
Where do you
No,
rank them piping hot?
That's not true.
Where do you rank them piping hot?
I still don't put them over the waffle fry piping hot. I'll put them if they're piping hot. I'll put them above the curly fry.
I would too.
If they're
Above-
piping
above
hot,
That's still number one. Yeah.
But
Above
above
Arby's?
the curly fry, but I still have them behind the waffle fry and Wendy's if they're piping hot.
Okay, I'll take that.
But I'm not going to elevate it like there's some.
Then again, who's eating McDonald's fries 10 minutes after? Like, if you're not eating them on a car ride home, what are you doing?
That's the problem. You can't drive from the fast food window to your house and then come in and sit down and eat the fries. They're garbage.
But
Terrible.
who does that? You're supposed to eat them on the way home. That meal ain't supposed to make it home. Like my rides,
That's why you pick out fries in between your seats 6 months later because you're eating them in the car.
my ride is 5 minutes. My meal is done before I get home.
No, McDonald's fries is as trash as this Hitchhiker beer. About as garbage as that. I'm only drinking it because you guys are hyping up McDonald's fries the way that you are. And I don't care who else comes at me this week. All the hate.
Hey,
Y'all
Hitchhiker, come at
you want to talk about being brainwashed just because they came in that little happy kids meal growing up, and you got your little toy and everything else.
That was ultimate happiness.
McDonald's is fantastic. No,
Happiness.
no.
Have you ever sat eating a Happy Meal? No.
If you are above,
guys,
I think Steve needs a Happy Meal today. Have you had a break today?
if you are above the age of
give that man a Snickers.
listen, if you're above the age of say 20s, 27, if you drive past McDonald's and take a smell of it, and if you don't immediately shit your pants, there's something wrong with you.
Man, you don't know coming into work first thing in the morning and that fried grease hits you. Woo!
No, absolutely
Woo!
not. Absolutely not.
You missing
I
out.
literally get sick to my stomach anytime my kids have McDonald's. That's how trash it is.
I'm gonna order some DoorDash and have it delivered to your house in like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
no,
Go ahead.
That's
Order me an
horrible.
extra large fry. Order it to me. And you know what I'll take a video of? Me opening up the trash can and dumping them in. And then I'll send that right back to you.
And now they'll be gone because the driver would have ate them already because they're that fire.
Got them while they were hot.
Yep.
All right, well, let us know what you think one got to go.
Definitely ain't McDonald's. So
Fucking over to you guys. Right. Done. I'm done with you guys. All right. I'm going to hop into a better mood here and give out a quote to end the show. Since it is Women's History Month, and we're just coming off of Black History Month, I figure for today's quote to end the show, read a little quote from Maya Angelou. It says, "Each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women." So with that, women continue to stand up. And until next time, y'all can catch us around the way. McDonald's is trash.